Hey guys, it's Will here. Going to go through the market quickly and a few stocks and a couple other things. And that'll be it for this video. So things are a little shaky in the markets, obviously. If we look at the IWM, we're close to this 50, just below it here. It could be supported there, but had a good pullback here since this point. And the Nasdaq is below the 50, just barely. So it's kind of like you could consider it to be hitting resistance here. Not able to get up over the 50 at this point. But down here we do have a cross of the MACD, or price percent oscillator, but we are stuck below the 50. And the SPY is better shape, or above the 50. We've had a pullback here as well. We have support at the 21 EMA. It's still above the 50. And the Dow is in good shape in that sense. It's above the 21 and the 50 as well. But you can see that they've all pulled back. So it's a little dicey right now. In terms of trading, choppiness and stuff, but I'll talk about a few stocks. A lot of the ones, like if you know sort of how I look at things, I'm looking for a cross up of the MACD momentum above the 50. So in a lot of cases, things are not in that position, like they're below. We might just be up above the 8 EMA, but we're below the 50 and sometimes the 21. So ideally, you're looking at things that are above the 50 and 21 in terms of a momentum, shorter term situation. So if you look at all this type of stuff, Zoom, Teladoc, we've had this big pullback. This is below the 200 as well. So there's not a lot of great opportunities, in my opinion, in terms of a nice swing trade, like on an up where you're above the 50, like right here, you're above all the moving averages and you have that nice uptrend there. But like this one Progeny here had a really good run, pullback. It is above the 8 and above the 50, and the MACD did cross. So there is some resistance nearby, like from a previous high, like right here, and also up here. But there are a few that are, if you want to scan for stocks that are above, 50 or whatever, you can set that up with TC2000. If you want to get a free trial of TC2000, which is what I'm using here, check out the link in the description below. There's also a $25 discount if you decide to purchase. I'm using the gold plan, and I've got US real-time data. I'll show you a couple other tabs just in case. There's a drill down tab, and that gives you a whole different look. So you can have different looks of your charts for different scenarios that you want to do. So this is all the different sectors, which is really nice. So you can see during the day, like what sector is doing better. Like utilities did good yesterday. And then you can see all the other ones. And then if you want to drill down within the utilities, like there's regulated water, diversified, and you can see which ones did better within that sector. So these are like the industry indexes. And then over here we have each stock within that. So if I just click on utilities, I'm going to see all the utilities. I can see the best one. I can add columns if I want to, look at different things like relative strength or whatever. Another tab, which is cool, is the fundamentals, and that shows you. And you can set these up differently, like and modify them, but this shows you the fundamentals of stocks. You can see the earnings per share change over the last quarters, PE ratio, percent change in revenue. So you have sales, you have earnings, you have sales, PE ratios, assets, and return on equity, return on assets, stuff like that. Um, so that's pretty cool. And then like right now we're in the pre-market. So you can see up here, if you've got the gold plan, um, you'll be able to see stocks in a pre-market. So if you go to watch lists, you can go on pre-market, and this shows you stocks that are moving in the pre-market. It's 7:15 right now, so it's fairly early. If I sort by percent change, this is a way to see stocks that are moving a lot in the morning, like in the pre-market, gapping up. So some people like to trade that type of scenario. So you can see big gap ups here in Dolphin Entertainment, for example. And then you can go down to like 10-minute chart if you want to trade short term, or 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, stuff like that. That's why the real time is definitely important if you're gonna do that, especially. Yeah, so that is about all I wanted to say right now. If I sort by stocks that are going up the most, like I say, these aren't really looking great in the way I like to trade, even though like they're up 3 or 4%, in the pre-market. Apps is looking pretty good. It's in an uptrend above the ADMA and above these moving averages. But a lot of these are not quite where I want them to be in terms of the charts. So with the space bar, you can, if you want to do it this way, you can just pan through. So one way to avoid, other than scanning, is if you have a column, like I have this one, it's the price, that's the distance from the price to the 8 EMA. So if I sort it by large to small, I'm going to see ones that are above the 8 EMA. See, this is 6%. So this would tell me quickly which ones are actually above. So Peloton, but of course it's below the 21 and the 50. So I'm not a big fan of that. But if you're fairly far away from the 50, there could be a chance, like if I go from here to here, 16%, and I think that, it's going to head up back to that point, and at least before it maybe bounces off, there's a distance there, you could potentially trade that shorter term. But, and like a progeny I already mentioned, this one is right at the 200 and the 50. So Etsy is above the 50, so it's still looking pretty good. And all right, so hopefully that helps. Don't forget you can get TC2000 in the description below. Talk to you later.